Hi everyone, so welcome to the first of what we're going to try and do is some online training and just some small training tips and hints while we're in lockdown. So one of the first ones I want to do, which for me is one of the most important, is rider position, balance and suppleness. Okay, so without these your horse is going to struggle, and having ways and exercises of improving yourself when you've got no one giving you help. So what we're going to do is explain some of these, and then we're going to get on the horse and show you some exercises that you can do that lets you assess and find the best position for your body type, because we're all a little bit different, we're all built a little different, our centre of balance is a little bit different, our length of body is a little bit different. So being able to assess whether you're doing the best position for you is really, really helpful. So we're going to first look at carrying with the upper core. So for me, the upper core is these muscles just below your sternum. I kind of call them sit-up muscles. I've not got any technical jargon with respect to it. So we'll call these our sit-up muscles. So what we want to look at doing in order to carry ourselves with our front core and ride the horse with our lower back core. So the muscles that are across your lower back here are the ones that ride the horse. Our front core holds ourselves in our position and our posture and helps disengage the shoulders so the shoulders don't come in. So to find these muscles here, we're going to do some exercises on the horse with respect to engaging these muscles and finding the engage point, and then the point where they disengage, where you might start to fold in the middle. A lot of people take movement by folding in the middle, and I want to show you how not to do that, because you don't need to, and if you do fold in the middle, it makes your lower back stop riding the horse, and then that affects the horse's back because it can't move as well. Okay, so there are our first 2 points. Carry with the upper core, ride your horse with your lower back core. The other point, point number 3, is staying supple through the hip, the knee and the ankle joint. So these 3 joints are your shock absorbers. They actually absorb at least 50% of the movement when you're riding your horse. Everyone assumes that everything's absorbed through the seat. It's not. You need to make sure these 3 joints stay quite relaxed. If you jam one joint, it radiates right through to your leg and into your back and stops you being able to go with the horse properly and assist the horse and help and direct the horse as easily as you should. So these 3 joints have got to stay supple. I'm going to show you a little exercise on top of the horse to actually help you with that as well. And our 4th point is learning to balance on the ball of your foot. So there's no athlete that does as much as what we do on the horse that balances in their heel, and yet we're all told to put our heel down, put our weight in our heel. I work more on the balance in the ball of the foot. How much weight goes in your heel really depends on the length of your stirrup. As you take the stirrups up, say towards a jumping length, you'll have more weight on your heel. But the balance should remain in the ball of the foot with the hip, knee and ankle quite supple. So again, we'll show you some exercises that you can get a little bit of that working for you, that you can practice at any time that you get on the horse, whether you've got someone there to help you or not. And anytime you're making position corrections, you've got to exaggerate and feel like you're totally overdoing it in order for when you then do relax, you'll then come back to the perfect position for you. Okay? So we're going to head out now and we're actually going to get on the horse and show you some exercises. Let's go. Okay. Hi everyone. So welcome to the ridden section of rider position, balance and suppleness. What we're going to do is just show a few exercises that help you find those things that we were talking about earlier, such as finding the muscles in your upper front core that actually are meant to carry you, riding with the muscles in our lower back so that our seat follows the saddle and we can stay really supple with the horse, learning to stay relaxed through the ankle, the knee and the hip joints, because these are 3 of your shock absorbers that you're going to need, and learning to balance on the ball of the feet. So let's have I'll turn Gabby sideways. So really easy to find this upper front core. This is meant to actually really stabilise your position and help you sit really tall. So exactly where your position is going to be will depend on your body type and whether you're long or short through this middle section, the set of your hips, the set of your shoulders, etc. Easiest way to find it is place your hand across your lower back so that you can then arch over your hand, and then arch back, keeping this front really tall and long. Arch back over your hand and feel the point where those muscles are really quite tight. So go back a little further and then lift yourself up with this section. Whatever you do, when you lift up, if you fold in the middle and come up, you'll have the wrong effect. So over the back of our hand, we're going to arch our back and we're going to lean back, and then we're going to pull ourselves up with these muscles in the front. Okay? So what that's going to do is it's going to engage your front core, and what you'll find is if you do an experiment, when you're back and it's engaged, if you come forward and then go forward slightly too far, this area disengages and the lower back gets a little bit tight and you'll stop riding the horse and you'll start riding and taking too much movement up in your shoulders. So to find the position for yourself, practice with going back a little bit, coming up and finding the point where that area just starts to relax ever so slightly. So that will relax and the lower back will relax, and that's your upright position for your body type. Okay, I'll do that again. Lean back a little bit, pull yourself up with this front core. When I get to about there, this area is just starting to relax. So for me, that's my upright position. So what I want to do when I'm riding is think about stretching that and just stretching back enough that that's engaged. Anytime you're making a position correction and improving what you're doing, you need to exaggerate a little bit so that when you relax, you're in the right place for you. So we lean back a little bit, find my position, and then just relax. So we're going to do that when Gabby's walking. So this helps you stabilize and keep the shoulders out of your riding. You don't need your shoulders to ride. And the more your shoulders move, the more your hands will move. I'm going to put my hand across my lower back again, and while she's moving, I'm going to lean back a little bit. I'm going to allow my upper thighs open off the saddle a bit so they stretch open. I don't want to stick my legs forward and brace because that's going to be then incorrect. So keep legs open, weight down on the feet, keeping the horse walking. Okay, lean back a little bit and sit up. And lean back a little bit and sit up. Lean back a little bit. It's like doing sit-ups on your horse. You can get to the point you can get really strong here and you can go a lot further back and then bring yourself back up again. Okay, so that helps us engage our front core to carry ourselves and relax the lower back so that the seat can follow the horse. The other area we talked about is staying supple in the hip, the knee and the ankle. These three areas, the minute you jam one of those joints, it actually tightens the leg but it also tightens the back and you won't be able to flow with your horse. So little exercise to get you used to feeling this area moving is to take the knees off the saddle a little bit, lift the heel, and so that you bend and flex the ankle, the knee and the hip, and then drop it back down again. So we lift and flex, and we drop it back down again. So that when the leg's hanging, it's just dropping straight down. And our stirrup, if we take our foot out, our stirrup doesn't move. We put our foot back in, our stirrup is hanging below the stirrup bar. And if you want to test that, take your weight off your stirrup for a sec by picking that up, and then put it back down again. Okay? For the balance in your saddle, your stirrup needs to hang below the stirrup bar, which is where it's attached. So we do that again. We're going to put our weight on the ball of our foot. We're going to lift our knee and ankle, bend the knee, bend the hip, and drop them back down again. Alright, so again, we can play with that. Anytime you feel like you're starting to tighten in these areas, you can lift that up, and take it out, open off the horse, and drop it back down again. Carefully, you don't do it too far initially, because you could actually find yourself cramping back here. So it's up and out and relax back down. So that makes you a little bit more aware of the level of movement that you've got there. Okay, so there to go then a little bit further. So when we're moving and we're working on our horse, we can exercise. We can actually lean back a little bit, bring ourselves up, lift the leg, drop it back down. Lean back, come up, lift the leg, drop it back down. And what that's doing is it's really helping me to open out a lot more here, open my hips a little bit more, let my lower back stay nice and loose so it follows the horse, and engage up through here, disengage my shoulders from my riding. To take this flexion exercise a little bit further and add into it, balancing on the ball of your feet. So easy way to do this is while the horse is standing still, grab the mane just in the middle there to give you some support. Stand up on the ball of your foot, then without taking your body any higher, bend up through your ankles, knees and hips, and then relax them down again. Teach yourself that, okay, look at that, I can actually balance on the ball of my foot and I can move my joints at the same time. That's what my leg feels like when it's up, that's what it feels like when it's down. That's what it feels like when it's up. And the main thing is when you're doing this, I'm not pushing my body up and down, I'm just flexing there, keeping the level of my seat above the saddle exactly the same. And again, it's an exercise that you can do when the horse is walking or trotting, or even later on when you get hopefully you can So, we stand up and we balance on the ball of our feet. Then again, hold a little bit in main in front. Give yourself some stability, it makes it easier on the horse. Lift your heels, bend your joints, relax back down again. Okay, standing up, lift, back down. Not moving the upper body at all. Up, back down. Up, back down. Yes, I have to lean forward a little bit for my centre of gravity. Okay? But I'm going to keep my back as straight as possible and eventually not have to lean on the horse at all. It is hard on the ankles. Don't do too much to start with. It will hurt. Okay, so there are main exercises that you can do that give you a better sense of body awareness, a better sense of where your balance and your tightness. If you stand up here and you feel that you stand a little bit to one side or the other, you can start to make yourself a lot more straight. Okay, so our little exercise there, standing up, lifting the legs, and then standing up and down in the stirrups and teaching ourselves that we can flex those joints. And then finding that relaxed point where for you everything slots one on top of the other. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed that. Have a go with those exercises and I would love to get some feedback from you when you give it a go. Alright, thank you.